Greetings, sports fans. It is that time of day once again. You've seen it. The clock has struck noon. It is go time. We're on Jake's Hot Takes on WGNY 94.5 1220 News Talk Sports. I am your host, Jake McVey, joined here by my co-host, Matthew Galgano.
Yes, sir.
Matt, if you could take any basketball player across the entire league right now and put them in a Knicks jersey, who would it be and why?
It would be my glorious king, LeBron James.
Oh, good pick, good
Yes.
pick. I would say LaMelo Ball just because he's a lot of fun to watch. But Anyway, LeBron James, our glorious king, basically did whatever he wanted the other night.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was probably one of the worst losses of the season. Not points-wise, just how it ended. I mean, they lost that big lead and then had Jalen Brunson go down with that ankle injury in overtime. Just an awful way to lose, and it seems like it's going to have pretty big meaning on the rest of the next season.
Yeah, big
is
consequences.
really what it seems.
The Bucks are not far behind us right now in the seeding. I believe they're only 3 games behind us, and with Brunson out for this foreseeable future, definitely going to be a problem. But back to the actual game, the aforementioned LeBron James and Luka Doncic combined for 63 points.
Yes.
LeBron went 31, 12, and 8. Luka went 32, 7, and 12, and had 4 steals.
Another night where both of them go over 30 points, looking like one of the most unstoppable duos in the league right now.
Probably the most unstoppable duo in the league, if we're being real. Lakers move on to their 8th win straight. I mean, the Lakers as a team were lights out. They actually, no, they weren't lights out because they played pretty rough in the first half, but in the second half they were lights out.
It was just such a Knicks collapse. It was very frustrating. And with this Jalen Brunson injury, this is what it is. I mean, the Knicks struggle to put away games in the fourth quarter that they should be winning, and then as a result, their players play more minutes, and in overtime, Jalen Brunson goes down with the ankle injury.
Yeah.
It sucks.
And Lord forbid anybody is on the court in any given moment other than our starting 5.
Yes.
I mean, again, the bench basically saw no minutes other than Deuce.
I think one thing I need to point out from this game is Mikal Bridges. This guy sucks. This guy sucks. He played 43 minutes and had 6 points, 3 rebounds. He had one good play, I think either in overtime or the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was late in the fourth. Yeah, he had a great defensive play where
it didn't mean anything because at the end of the day, this guy scored 6 points. Karl-Anthony Towns scored 12 points. He had 14 rebounds, but needed a more impactful performance from him in this game.
Cat was quiet, man. In those moments where you rely on Cat to go and make a big 3, the greatest shooting big of all time.
Yep.
And he was quiet. And the moments where he got the ball, he did not look comfortable. You know, obviously, Karl-Anthony Towns had missed the previous game due to personal reasons. So we never like to speculate on that, but he definitely did look out of whack out there, which is, it's unfortunate because this was just a really bad day. It was a bad day to have a bad day,
Perimeter defense was an issue all night.
Terrible.
And that's really what ended up losing them the game is because they couldn't defend the 3 late in the game. I think Luka hit a long 2 and then a 3 back-to-back, and that basically put the game away. OG played fine.
Yeah, OG had a pretty good game.
But really everyone else just did not play up to their standard. Josh Hart, while his box score looks fine, the eye test does not pass it. His defense was not that good in this game.
I'm gonna step in to defend Josh Hart a little bit because he is still playing on an injured knee.
He did have a double-double.
And he had a really good steal on Luka late in the fourth. It was a great buckled down his hips, just got right in there and ended up getting the takeaway. I don't even remember if they scored off it. I just remember thinking, wow, that was a great play out of Josh Hart.
And then the outlier of all outliers, Jalen Brunson, 39 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds, and now they're without him.
Yeah,
so,
and now we don't have him.
It sucks.
It's just brutal. You look at the kind of night that he had, 39 points, 4 rebounds, 10 assists. I mean, he was 12 from 13 from the line, 3 from 26 for the field, 1 from 7 for 3. It was not an efficient night for JB, but he was putting up the points whether we liked it or not. He was just going out there and getting it done,
and
especially down the stretch.
Something we saw in this game is that a lot of Lakers role players really stepped up towards the end and in moments where they needed to. While their box score doesn't look great, got a guy like Gabe Vincent, who I was smack talking all night, and then he went ahead and hit 2 back-to-back threes to send it to overtime.
Yeah, we were sitting on the couch calling this guy a bum, play in and play out, and then he must have heard us because he definitely went and proved us wrong. 4 for 4 from 3. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Jackson Hayes was another big piece. You know, you'd think that with the Lakers trading away Anthony Davis and Jackson Hayes being the starting center, you'd think that they would have a little bit of a problem, you know, muscling it around, you know, getting some beef down in the paint. But no, Jackson Hayes held it down. OG seemed very uncomfortable driving to the rim. Cat seemed very uncomfortable driving to the rim. Mitchell Robinson, you know, he did what he did, but, you know, just not enough, you know, plain and simple. But they're still waning him back from getting him some more minutes coming off an injury. One of my main takeaways from this is that Tibbs seems like he has no idea what to make with all these talented offensive players.
I agree. I mean, there's so many collapses recently and also just close wins against bad teams.
Yeah.
It's just not looking like this team is anywhere close to a title this season.
Yeah.
Even though the record is pretty good, and their record being 40-20 a couple of days ago should mean that they're a title contender. It just doesn't look like it because every time they play a title contender, it's just bad news.
Yeah, between this game and the Golden State game that just happened previously, it is just my heart weeps, honestly, because the 40-20 compared to the 40-22, a lot has changed in my perception of the Knicks over the course of these last 2 games. They went up against probably 2 of the 4, I'll say the 4 best teams in the West right now, barring, you know, Oklahoma City and the Nuggets. And they lost. And they didn't just lose, they lost in embarrassing fashion.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can say that we didn't have Karl Anthony Towns for the Golden State game, so that, you know, bit of a fluke win for them. But I'm going to say no. I think that Golden State would have even won that game with Karl Anthony Towns.
And not to mention, they got blown out by the Cavs, blown out by the Celtics, narrowly beat the Sixers and the Heat and the Grizzlies. It's just not looking very good right now. And there's not a lot of time to, I mean, down the stretch, they have a lot of bad teams they're up against. They got the Kings, Trailblazers, they got the Spurs coming up, the Hornets, the Wizards, the Mavericks, all pretty bad teams. So really, those are their get-right games, and it will decide what this postseason is going to look like for New York.
Yeah, definitely. I think if they lose their current seeding to the Bucks, what we're the 3rd seed in the East right now still.
Yeah,
I think if we lose that seeding position to the Bucks and we drop down to the 4th seed, I think that is probably going to be a death sentence for this team. This team does not really travel well. You can just kind of tell they look sluggish. They looked out of sync playing against Golden State, playing against LA. We need to keep the games in New York for as long as possible. And if we lose our or if we lose our seeding to Milwaukee in these next coming weeks, especially with Jalen Brunson potentially being out for, you know, they're talking about a timeline of 3 to 4 games for Jalen Brunson, and that is exactly how many games that Milwaukee is behind us. So they need to step up. They're on a trip out west right now. They got a couple more games, and it's going to be tough.
Yeah, but luckily it seems like got some easy opponents coming up, but it doesn't really mean much considering how the last games have gone, even with Brunson being close against bad teams. Yeah. So we'll see how these go. Yeah,
let's pivot real quick and talk Sacramento because this is going to be a big game. This is a huge game for us against the Sacramento Kings. Yes, I really do mean that. A huge game.
It is a huge game.
This is, you know, I don't want to say that a game is the season, but if we lose to this Kings team,
that's pretty bad. That's going to be bad.
That's going to be rough.
I mean, they're not very good. They're not awful either. I mean, they have a winning record, but we should be way better than them.
Yeah. I think the big thing that you're going to need to look out for this one is Domantas Sabonis.
I mean, he's a passing god. He got an MVP vote last year.
Yeah, he did. MVP vote receiver Domantas Sabonis. I think that just the presence that he brings towards the middle of the court or towards the middle of the paint.
Yeah.
If a guy like Jackson Hayes can shut out OG Anunoby and Josh Hart and Karl Anthony Towns from driving to the lane, Domantas Sabonis can definitely shut them down on that front. So it's definitely going to be something to watch. I'm hoping that Mitchell Robinson can maybe get a few minutes. I know we're still waning him off waning him back on to more minutes. He's still coming off the injury, but we're going to need him right now. We're going to need everybody on the bench to really, get it done.
I mean, the Kings are kind of on a good streak right now. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games,
that makes me nervous.
Which is better than the Knicks 6-4 in their last 10. And they've also kept it close with good teams like the Nuggets. So they're definitely a bit of a scrappy team. But I really hope that the Knicks can pull this through, and it's a big test for them.
Yeah.
Seeing that they'll be without Jalen Brunson most likely.
Absolutely, and I have some opinions on the Jalen Brunson situation that we're going to talk about a little bit later, but. For right now, I actually do just want to bring up one more guy because I actually forgot about him. Zach LaVine. You're going to need to keep an eye on Zach LaVine because this is a guy that can just do it. He gets to the perimeter and he can just mix up your defenders, generate his own shots. And the Knicks struggle against guys like that. I mean, look, you let Luka get Luka's great at generating his own offense, and they let Luka drop 32 points on him. A guy like Zach LaVine, he's not Luka, but he can shoot pretty well, and he's a good shooter, and he can drive to the basket, and he can do a lot for this Sacramento team in a lot of really versatile ways, and especially in a lot of ways that I'm not sure we're prepared to handle.
They also have DeMar DeRozan, so they definitely have a lot of scoring threats on their team. The big question is the perimeter defense for the Knicks. How will it be against this Kings team?
Josh Hart's going to need to step up, plain and simple.
Definitely.
I'd say him and Anunoby are the two best perimeter defenders on the team right now. I think Hart had an all-right game against L.A. I think he actually had a pretty bad game against Golden State. But that's neither here nor there. That's in the past. We're talking about the future. And I just, OG's been doing his thing. He's much better at stopping power forwards and small forwards and centers on the perimeter. He can kind of get those guys. It's those twos and one those guard position guys that we're really going to need to focus on guarding, which is why I mentioned Zach LaVine. De'Aaron Fox is always an important guy to keep an eye on. Point guard, he's going to be big for them too. But I'm actually confident in this team's ability to keep De'Aaron Fox in check. But we're just going to have to see. I
think it's also important to mention that the Kings and Knicks did play in late January, and the Knicks blew them out. And this was back when they had De'Aaron Fox. And Jalen Brunson wasn't the top scorer. It was actually OG Anunoby with 33 points. Josh Hart had 18 rebounds, and Josh Hart had 11 assists. So he played pretty well. Josh Hart played pretty well last time against the Kings, and OG played really good against the Kings. So that's a bit of a step up. But without Brunson, we'll see if they can do it again.
Yeah, be honest with me, Matt. Do you think the Knicks are going to come away with this one?
I do. I think it's time. I think they'll get a convincing win. I think the players are pretty upset. The fans are upset. It's time.
I'm upset.
It's time.
Yeah, pretty much any Knicks space that I've been a part of in recent times has pretty much just erupted with fury over this situation. And there's one thing that they're all chanting in particular that we're also going to be talking about a little later related to, Knicks coach. Wow, why did I forget his first name?
Tom
Thibodeau. Yeah, wow. Jeez, I'm a bum. I forgot Tibbs' first name. I've just been calling him Tibbs. But, yeah, we're just going to have to see how that goes. When we get back from the break, however, we're going to be talking a little more Knicks. We're going to be talking about Tom Thibodeau and his role in the wins and the losses. And we're also going to be talking about Jalen Brunson because he is very important to this team. And I actually have some things that I want to talk about in regards to his absence in the next coming weeks. So we are going to be back right after a commercial break. Make sure you stay tuned. My name has been Jake McVey. This is Jake's Hot Takes. Ooh, and before I forget, follow us on the Instagram, Jake's Hot Takes WGNY. Make sure you like all our posts. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share them with your friends. And make sure you DM us with your hot take, and we'll read your takes. Nobody sent them in yet, and I'm upset. So send in your takes, and we'll be right back after this commercial break. Bye.
Thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bath? Wayne's Way Wholesale Cabinets has a great selection of all wood cabinets in the styles and colors to make your remodeling dreams come to life. Go to wayneswaycabinets.com for more info. Wayne's Way Cabinets, 1829 South Road, Wappingers Falls. Call 845-280-0880. Stop by and talk to Wayne today. You'll be glad you did. CDS Auto and Truck Repair is your 5-star one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs from A to Z, offering full vehicle diagnostics. Towing is available, and they now offer fleet service. CDS Auto and Truck Repair. Call 845-563-9987. That's 845-563-9987. CDS Auto and Truck Repair, 2917 Route 9W, New Windsor.
You've long known that Newburgh Auto Spa on Route 17K utilizes top caliber products and the latest technology to give your vehicle the proper maintenance it needs. Whether it be a computerized soft cloth car wash, detailing consisting of a comprehensive bumper-to-bumper cleaning of your entire interior and exterior, or a fuel-efficient oil change from a trained technician, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Now, Newburgh Auto Spa is a full-service automotive center. That's right, Newburgh Auto Spa now offers tires, brakes, rotors, tune-ups, alternators, and more, all with the same professionalism and quality you've become accustomed to. For a full list of automotive services offered in specials, go to NewburghAutospa.com. Whether you need a basic car wash, a quick oil change, or now more extensive automotive service, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean, located at 86 Route 17K and online at NewburghAutospa.com. Now offering a full range of automotive services. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean.
The Roma Deli, 237 Myers Corners Road, Wappingers Falls, is your neighborhood family-owned and operated deli, offering breakfast, lunch, and catering options. The Roma Deli has brought a little piece of the Bronx to Wappingers, including fresh-made sandwiches, Italian specialties, and desserts, all prepared and cooked in-house with authentic Italian ingredients. Their large menu provides lots of options to personalize your order to your taste. Vegan and vegetarian options available. The Roma Deli, offering catering that is perfect for any party or business function. Go to RomaDeli1.com or call 845-297-1200.
Michael's Appliances presents Ask Andy, the appliance expert. Andy, what makes my oven smell so bad when I self-clean?
Self-clean, my favorite weapon in the world. Self-cleaning is a brutal environment. Most people don't think about it. They hear self-clean. I'm not really sure if they're picturing scrubbing bubbles inside there, but what's really happening is we're heating the oven up hot enough to carbonize protein. We're going to take the food stuff that's left in your stove, and we're actually going to carbonize it. We're going to turn it to dust. So we're 700 degrees. So why does it smell bad? You're setting fire to a chicken. Today, a lot of the new stoves, because of the energy guidelines, there is no real self-clean anymore. They don't want those high temperatures. It's a huge waste of energy. It's very easy. You don't have to get on your hands and knees and your back doesn't hurt. You're not scrubbing the stove, but we use a ton of energy to clean the inside of that stove by heating it up.
Shop with the experts. Nobody knows appliances like Michael's Appliance Center, 585 East Main Street, Middletown. Online at michaelsappliance.com.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Jake's Hot Takes, sports fans. So, coming off of a incredibly demoralizing loss to the Los Angeles Lakers, there are a lot of sentiments going around in the Knicks fan base right now, and one of them is Tom Thibodeau needs to be fired. And I'm inclined to agree with them.
Yeah.
I think that I've seen enough with this guy. I think that he's not utilizing our offensive players to their capacity whatsoever. I think that the offense looks bad. I think that he's just allowing them to do these read and run plays where you just, go out and get a look and see what happens. And he refuses to draw up plays that get Mikal Bridges the ball, that get Karl Anthony Towns the ball. And in the clutch, he's just letting Jalen Brunson do whatever he wants. And look, Jalen Brunson is phenomenal. I will not sit here for a second and say that Jalen Brunson should not be getting the ball during the clutch. But why are we not creating opportunities for guys other than Jalen Brunson to score? Because then what's going to happen is you're going to see what the Lakers did. The Lakers knew exactly what JB was going to do. If he got a look from behind the arc, he was going to take the three. And if he didn't, he was going to drive and try and create a passing lane. He drove, created the passing lane, and then boom, Lakers all over the place. And he couldn't get that ball out, and it was a wasted possession. Because we do the exact same thing in the clutch every single time.
I think there are issues with Thibodeau. I think he has a trouble in the clutch drawing up a play for anyone but Brunson. I don't understand not having Miles McBride or Mitchell Robinson involved in the fourth quarter or overtime at all, really.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that.
There are personnel issues with Thibodeau, but I really don't think it's the right decision to fire him at the end of this season. Being with the Knicks, he's done nothing but win, have winning seasons besides one season. And that is not something that the Knicks were really used to in this century. So with the Knicks, Tom Thibodeau has seen been the coach with the most success by far in the past 2 decades. So I just don't think they can move on from a coach that has consistently had winning seasons with them and brought them to playoff berths.
I understand where you're coming from because Thibodeau has done a lot for this organization. But at the same time, we're not in a position right now where we need to be rebuilding or we need to be thinking about the future. We're in a position right now where we need to win. And right now, despite everything that he's done for this organization, I do not see Thibodeau as the kind of guy that can carry us to the top of the mountain, you know? It is not – if the Knicks win a championship – at any point during the Thibodeau era, I am almost certain that it will be more on the abilities of the players that are playing on the court to generate their own offense and do their own thing and maximize their own strengths, as opposed to Thibodeau putting them in positions to maximize their own strengths and creating plays for guys to get the ball and making the right personnel switches instead of just having that starting 5 out on the court for the entire game. I mean, look at what happened. OG Anunoby's been dealing with injury. Josh Hart's been dealing with injury. Now we got the Brunson injury. I think it's a product of just having so many minutes. They're playing 40, 42, 43 minutes every single game. Their bodies just can't handle it. And now that we're down the stretch, guys are getting injured.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised about it at all.
But also, along with that, I don't think that these role players are really stepping up as much as they should be. And you have guys like McCall Bridges, who they traded 5 first-round picks for, and he's playing like a role player. So this is the first year with this new Knicks regime. This Knicks team looks wildly different than it did last year. And I think they just needed some gelling time. And a season where they have 40 wins and 20 losses and they're going to make the playoffs isn't a total failure. I mean, Brunson is still on an extremely team-friendly deal. It's year 1 of Cat. It's year 1 of McCall. They have a whole offseason to make trades. And, you know, the season isn't even over yet. So we could be having an entirely different conversation come this April when the playoffs start. I'm just
so and look, you do make a good point, right? Mm-hmm. It is a young team that is definitely still, well, not a young team, but it's a young core, a core that hasn't been together very long.
Yeah.
That is kind of finding themselves. And yes, Jalen Brunson is a saint and he's willing to take team-friendly deals because he wants to win. But I can't get over this minutes thing. Look, plain and simple, I don't care how bad the bench is. We should not be having our starting 5 playing this many minutes, you know, playing the entirety of the game, basically, with, you know, very few minutes to rest, including overtime. That's how you drive your players into the ground. That's how you destroy their bodies. That's how you know, irreversibly damage these guys. And I'm not saying that any of the guys on the starting 5 right now are irreversibly damaged, but shoot, man, it's coming. Josh Hart's not as young as he used to be, man. A bad injury now, he's a physical guy. Yeah. And a bad injury now could really derail the latter half or the later half of his prime and his entire career, you know? It's just it's scary, you know? They're just getting worked into the ground out there. And I know everybody always says, all the old heads always say, "Oh, you know, it's basketball. You should be playing basketball the whole time." It's such a physical game, man. It's so difficult on the body, and I don't know if Tibbs doesn't understand that or if he doesn't care, but man,
he definitely understands it. It's just the Knicks role players are not playing to the level they should be to compete for a championship. Is really what it is. I mean, even though Tibbs isn't giving them the most minutes, it's probably because he doesn't think he can rely on them to win a game. I just really think this Knicks roster needs another year to build, get solid pieces, and then next year they can really be title contenders. And then we can start to have the conversation on whether Tibbs should go or not.
All right. You know what? You make a good point. You convinced me, all right? I'll call up James Dolan and I'll tell him keep Tibbs around for one more year. So we'll get that squared away. I just want to pivot real quick and talk about Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Because, wow, is there a guy that should be the face of New York sports any more than Jalen Brunson?
Aaron Judge.
Oh, get real. Come on. No. We're talking real sports here.
Yeah.
Sorry, baseball fans. No, I probably just made a lot of people very upset. We love baseball, but we're not talking baseball right now. Here's my take, all right? Hot take. Everybody lock in, all right? If you're driving, keep your eyes on the road, but still listen. I think in the long run, this Jalen Brunson injury is going to be good for the team.
How so? That he's been their only saving grace. So you want them to lose games, is what you're saying?
No. I don't want them to lose games, no. Because this streak of games, we'll say the next 3 or 4 games, we'll say the rest of the West Coast trip. They got a game against Sacramento. They got a game against Portland. And then I believe they got a game against Golden State. I might be forgetting a team in that. I'm going to take a look right now. Sacramento, Portland, then Golden State. Then they come back to the East Coast. These are 2 of these teams, Sacramento and Portland, are easy matchups, and they give us an opportunity to find out if any of the players on this roster can generate any offense other than Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson has been the heart and soul of this team for as long as he's been on the roster, and especially this season. I mean, he's Captain Clutch. He's our GOAT. He's just been getting it done no matter what. And this is an opportunity now for guys that are new faces on the team, Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns. I'm looking at you. These are opportunities for guys to step up, generate their own offense, lead the team, and fill Brunson's role, you know? Having a team of very talented guys, but only one guy on the court can actually command the offense and move pieces and open lanes and get looks and things like that. It means that you don't have a team of talented guys. It means that you have one guy who needs to orchestrate the entire thing. If Karl Anthony Towns or Mikal Bridges can just prove over the course of these next few games that they can help generate offense outside of what Jalen Brunson does, I think that'll be great, and that would greatly increase my faith in this team to actually have a deep playoff run.
I would really like to see Tibbs facilitate the offense through Karl Anthony Towns more and through Mikal Bridges more, and see what they can really do against these less than ideal teams. You know,
yeah,
that's something I would like to see. I'd like to see Mitchell Robinson get active more. He's been decently active since his time back, but I would like to see him in the starting lineup a little more.
Deuce needs some more minutes, plain and simple. I know he had an awful night against the Lakers, but Deuce needs more minutes, all right? I would say if Jalen Brunson didn't get hurt, I would even say move Mikal Bridges to the bench. I know we've been talking about that in recent time, but in this situation, I think I would love to see a starting 5 of McBride, Bridges, Hart, Anunoby, and Towns. You know, get Mitchell Robinson involved in the rotation. But yeah, there's just no one that can do what Brunson does. Not even from like a clutch standpoint, just from like a general standpoint.
Yeah.
There's nobody that can facilitate the offense.
I don't think anyone has the IQ that Brunson has right now. And
no,
so
definitely
it's going
not.
to be a big struggle. And I get the perspective of it's going to make the rest of the team, force the rest of the team to play better, to play smarter. I understand that perspective, but I really think that it's going to be scary hours if the team really stumbles in these next couple games without Brunson.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if the team just completely falls apart over the course of the next few games, there ain't much more
because then it's going to get to the point where Tibbs is going to have to start favoring Brunson's health over the team's success.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they need him healthy for the playoffs or they won't stand a chance.
Exactly, yeah. We don't want to have to reduce Brunson's minutes massively just so that he can be healthy. We want guys to be able to do things while Brunson is off the court. But I don't know. I know I seemed a little outrageous coming out and saying that the Brunson injury was a good thing for the team. But I think in the long run, having JB on the bench for a little while will be good. You know, in a kind of tough love situation. It's like pick yourself up off with your bootstrap. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps.
Yeah.
And go out there and play some basketball. And Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges, you guys got to facilitate the dang offense.
Yeah.
But that's that. So when we get back, we're talking a little more NFL. We got some exciting trade and free agency and all sorts of nonsense. Jacksonville and Chicago might be good. What are we talking about? Make sure you stay tuned. Jake's Hot Takes, WGNY 94.5, 1220. News, talk, sports. Emphasis on the sports. We'll be right back.
Thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bath? Wayne's Way Wholesale Cabinets has a great selection of all wood cabinets in the styles and colors to make your remodeling dreams come to life. Go to WaynesWayCabinets.com for more info. Wayne's Way Cabinets, 1829 South Road, Wappingers Falls. Call 845-280-0880. Stop by and talk to Wayne today. You'll be glad you did. CDS Auto and Truck Repair is your 5-star one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs from A to Z, offering full vehicle diagnostics. Towing is available, and they now offer fleet service. CDS Auto and Truck Repair. Call 845-563-9987. That's 845-563-9987. CDS Auto and Truck Repair, 2917 Route 9W, New Windsor.
You've long known that Newburgh Auto Spa on Route 17K utilizes top caliber products and the latest technology to give your vehicle the proper maintenance it needs. Whether it be a computerized soft cloth car wash, detailing consisting of a comprehensive bumper-to-bumper cleaning of your entire interior and exterior, or a fuel-efficient oil change from a trained technician, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Now, Newburgh Auto Spa is a full-service automotive center. That's right, Newburgh Auto Spa now offers tires, brakes, rotors, tune-ups, alternators, and more, all with the same professionalism and quality you've become accustomed to. For a full list of automotive services offered in specials, go to NewburghAutoSpa.com. Whether you need a basic car wash, a quick oil change, or now more extensive automotive service, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean, located at 86 Route 17K and online at NewburghAutoSpa.com. Now offering a full range of automotive services. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean.
The Roma Deli, 237 Myers Corners Road, Wappingers Falls, is your neighborhood family-owned and operated deli, offering breakfast, lunch, and catering options. The Roma Deli has brought a little piece of the Bronx to Wappingers, including fresh-made sandwiches, Italian specialties, and desserts, all prepared and cooked in-house with authentic Italian ingredients. Their large menu provides lots of options to personalize your order to your taste. Vegan and vegetarian options available. The Roma Deli, offering catering that is perfect for any party or business function. Go to RomaDeli1.com or call 845-297-1200.
Michael's Appliances presents Ask Andy, the appliance expert. Andy, what makes my oven smell so bad when I self-clean?
Self-clean, my favorite weapon in the world. Self-cleaning is a brutal environment. Most people don't think about it. They hear self-clean. I'm not really sure if they're picturing scrubbing bubbles inside there, but what's really happening is we're heating the oven up hot enough to carbonize protein. We're going to take the food stuff that's left in your stove, and we're actually going to carbonize it. We're going to turn it to dust. So we're at 700 degrees. So why does it smell bad? You're setting fire to a chicken. Today, a lot of the new stoves, because of the energy guidelines, there is no real self-clean anymore. They don't want those high temperatures. It's a huge waste of energy. It's very easy. You don't have to get on your hands and knees and your back doesn't hurt. You're not scrubbing the stove, but we use a ton of energy to clean the inside of that stove by heating it up.
Shop with the experts. Nobody knows appliances like Michael's Appliance Center, 585 East Main Street, Middletown. Online at michaelsappliance.com.
Hello, Jacksonville Jaguars fans. No, just kidding. Hello, New York sports fans.
Yes.
We're talking about Jacksonville right now on the radio. Yes. If you can really believe it, we're talking Jacksonville. Because they've been making some
an
moves.
NFL team that plays in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Yeah, they're called the Jaguars.
Yeah,
Never
smart.
heard of these guys
smart.
before.
It's good alliteration right there.
Yeah, they went to the AFC Championship in 2007 or 2017 with Blaine Gabbert at the wheel. Lost to the GOAT.
Nice.
All right, let's talk some Jacksonville because they were really bad last year.
They were awful, and they've been awful ever since like the second half of the 2023 season. It's pretty interesting because I feel like about 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, we were talking about, this Jacksonville rebuild is something special, man. Yeah. We were talking about that, and now all of a sudden they're in probably one of the worst situations in the entire league.
Yeah.
I mean, their offensive line sucks. Their receivers, they have Brian Thomas Jr., but outside of Brian Thomas Jr., pretty much everyone on their offense sucks.
And you know what? I got some serious questions about Trevor Lawrence, too.
Yeah, I mean, health-wise, he's got serious questions, and I like in general questions. And recently, they released Christian Kirk, their receiver of 3 years, and Evan Ingram, their tight end of 3 years, which was a bit of a puzzling move to a lot of people because people really thought that Evan Ingram was a cornerstone of this franchise, but now they decide he's too big of a cap casualty and they don't want him anymore. What do you make of that?
First of all, before we say anything, Evan Ingram is the greatest Evan Ingram is the greatest Jaguars tight end of all time.
Yeah?
I think so. I'm willing to make that accusation. Secondly, I actually kind of understand why Jacksonville made this move. Mm-hmm. Realistically, I love Evan Ingram. I love his play style, you know? Who cares about blocking as a tight end? Just go out and catch a ball, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's what Rob Gronkowski fans would have you think Travis Kelce is. But, you know, Evan Ingram just he's not a step above the other tight ends in the league enough to justify the massive contract for a tight end that he has, you know?
Yeah.
He's not Brock Bowers. He's not a prime Travis Kelce. He's not Sam Laporta. He's not even Cole Kmet, you know?
I just struggle to think of what their what the purpose of this is, especially because they don't really have another tight end to rely on or any other receiving threat now. Now that they traded Christian Kirk to the Texans. My main takeaway from this is that Brian Thomas Jr. is a first-round pick in fantasy next year.
Oh, yeah, definitely. 100%. Are you kidding me?
This dude's poised to go over like 1,500 yards, 100%. I'm definitely taking him if I get the chance. But as to where Evan Ingram could go, I could totally see him going to Kansas City. I think that would be a pretty great fit for him, actually.
No, I think so as well.
It would be a great fit.
You get a little time to learn under Travis Kelce while he's in the midst of his goodbye tour. Because realistically, Kelce did announce that he's coming back for next season, but we all know that next season is
next season is most likely his last.
This is the Travis Kelce goodbye tour.
It's not like Evan Ingram is a young guy either, though. I mean, this is going to be his 9th year in the league. Going into this season.
Yeah, but I think as long as Kansas City can get him cheap and get a good 2-3 years out of him, you know, it's not like Kansas City really goes to free agency to find guys that are going to be franchise staples, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of the big really important free agency signings that we've had over the last couple seasons have been gone within 2 or 3 years. I mean, just look at like Carlos Dunlap a couple years ago. He was a huge part in that first Philadelphia Super Bowl and you know, he was gone after that. We had Juju, you know, coming off and on the team. A lot of the time in free agency, Kansas City is not looking for guys that are going to, you know, change the team. Yeah. They're just looking for complementary pieces. And I think Ingram would be a great complementary piece. Although I do think the Chiefs should not sign him. I think that they have bigger fish to fry right now in terms of needs of the team. And a receiving target is just not one of them.
Overall, the Jaguars have been a very mismanaged, despite their success a couple years ago. The Jaguars have been a very mismanaged team that are just short-sighted. I feel like, I mean, they gave Gabe Davis a massive contract, and Gabe Davis has had one good game in his entire career.
They gave Christian Kirk a massive deal a couple years ago.
Yeah, and he was okay for them.
Yeah, it turned out all right.
He was okay for them, but now he's traded to the Texans, which I think is a good move. I'm just really curious to see how they approach this draft because the Jaguars are also a team that hasn't drafted well in the past couple of years besides Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, they took Travis Etienne in the first round. Yeah. That didn't work out very well. They took oh my God, what's his name? Trayvon Walker.
Yeah,
who's been okay.
Yeah, first overall
first overall worthy.
First overall over Aiden Hutchinson. What are we talking about?
Over Aiden Hutchinson and Sauce Gardner.
Oh man,
it's just it's not like he's been bad either. It's just like not first overall pick worthy. It's like Jadeveon Clowney all those years ago.
First overall pick, and he's the fourth best edge rusher in his own class. I got Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau, and George Karlaftis all over him.
Yes, Kayvon Thibodeau's over him.
Kayvon Thibodeau is over Trayvon Walker.
No.
What are you talking about?
No.
He had a better rookie
Way.
season. He had a better sophomore season.
And he had an awful last year.
Yeah, and I'll take 2 out of 3. I'll take 2 out of 3 as opposed.
I would take 3 above average seasons over Kayvon Thibodeau.
Is there a single moment from Trayvon Walker's entire career that you can even remember? I can at least remember Kayvon Thibodeau injuring Nick Foles and then doing snowflakes or snow
He played pretty well in week 1 against the Dolphins, and I picked him up in my fantasy.
Oh, wow.
So I remember that.
Yeah. You only saw that play because you were watching the Dolphins game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, he's a good run stopper, though, Trayvon Walker.
Yeah.
So I'll take that more than the occasional pressure that Kayvon Thibodeau will have.
Whatever. You're ridiculous. You're a Trayvon Walker defender. Anyway, we got Jaguars. We got talking about Dolphins. We're talking about all sorts of mammals. Let's keep the mammalian theme moving on here. And let's talk about the Bears.
Yes,
because the Bears.
They are they're going full force into rebuilding their offensive line. I mean, they traded a 4th rounder in 2026 for Joe Thuney.
My glorious king, Joe Thuney.
One of the best pass protectors in the league still.
I would say so. At least at the guard position.
Yeah, at the guard position. I think he's the best pass protecting guard in the league. And they also traded for the Rams tackle. I forget his name. Oh, my God.
Oh, no. I got the name right here. His name is Jonah Jackson.
Jonah Jackson.
Yeah.
Yes.
They sent him for a 2025 6th rounder, so they're getting these guys for bags of chips right now.
But I gotta say, I really love these moves for the Bears and to what it does for their franchise. I think they stole Joe Thuney from the Chiefs, and Jonah Jackson is a good pickup. He really is. I would also expect them to get a center in the draft. Their tackle play. They have Darnell Wright, who they drafted a couple years ago, who's actually a pretty good tackle. So I would expect Caleb Williams to be upright more, and that's all you want from your quarterback. Yeah. Now they have Ben Johnson calling the plays, and Ben Johnson first when he was in Detroit, he wanted that good offensive line, and now he's got one of the best guards in the league, maybe the best guard in the league.
I could make the argument.
to call plays up for. It's just I think this Chicago offseason has been very good. Just getting Ben Johnson itself.
Yeah.
It's been a fantastic. I think this is going to be a fantastic hire.
And I love what Chicago's doing right now, especially because they are finally moving away from the trend that was started in Cincinnati a couple years ago when they had that 5th or 6th overall draft pick that they eventually used to draft Jamar Chase. There was a lot of talk in the moment among NFL fans about whether they were going to draft Penei Sewell and beef up the line, or whether they were going to draft Jamar Chase and give Joe Burrow a really good target. They ended up drafting Jamar Chase, and of course Cincinnati ends up going to the Super Bowl, and every team all of a sudden thinks, oh, if we have a cool young quarterback, all we got to do is get him a target, and he's going to be great. And obviously that did not work. I mean, you saw even in Chicago, a guy like Justin Fields couldn't do anything because, he was just running for his life every play. Yeah. And granted, that was good because he loved to run the ball. But it wasn't good for the team. And I just love that the Bears are looking at Caleb Williams pragmatically and they're saying, all right, what was Williams' biggest problem last year? It wasn't that he couldn't get the ball to people. It was that he didn't have enough time to get the ball to people. He was running for his life every play. I mean, the Bears' offensive line last year, they were terrible, but they were all right in the rush in the run blocking, but they were terrible pass protectors. And Caleb was just terrified every play. What
I'd love to see for Ben Johnson and this Chicago offense is for them to draft Aston Genty at 10. I think that would be fantastic. I mean, everyone clowned on Ben Johnson for convoying to draft Jahmyr Gibbs in the 2023 draft, and that worked out fantastic. The Bears really don't have a running back. I know they gave DeAndre Swift a massive deal, And that actually kind of works out because DeAndre Swift played pretty well for a Ben Johnson offense a couple years ago.
Yeah, true.
But I think getting a runner like Ashton Genty in this Bears offense would do wonders for the playbook. I think it really would.
Yeah.
And now that they're beefing up their offensive line in trade and free agency, I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, if I'm a Chicago Bears fan right now, I'd be pretty excited to watch this team next season. Do you think that they actually have a shot at not finishing last in the division?
Yeah, 100%.
What teams do you think they could possibly be better than out of that
I think
division?
they could be better than the Packers.
Ooh.
But that's really it. Honestly, I don't see the Lions or the Vikings really finishing below them.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would say myself, Chicago is probably best case scenario for Chicago. We're probably looking at like a third in the division and a playoff berth.
Yeah,
you know?
That's what I would say too.
It's really all you can hope for.
Really, what they need is a step forward from Caleb Williams. They also signed Dolphins legend Durham Smythe to their team, and
household
what
name.
can I say? That's a great signing. He'll block a couple times, and that'll be good for them.
Maybe he'll catch a pass.
I'd love to see him. Now that Ben Johnson is there, I'd love to see a big step up from Durham Smythe.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, when we get back, we got a little grab bag. We're going to be talking about some more free agency, some more general things, not really talking teams. We're going to be talking individuals. So make sure you stick around. Make sure you follow the Instagram, Jake's Hot Takes, WGNY. And make sure you stick around for Jake's Hot Takes on WGNY 94.5, 1220 News Talk Sports. Emphasis on the sports. We'll be right back.
Thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bath? Wayne's Way Wholesale Cabinets has a great selection of all wood cabinets in the styles and colors to make your remodeling dreams come to life. Go to wayneswaycabinets.com for more info. Wayne's Way Cabinets, 1829 South Road, Wappingers Falls. Call 845-280-0880. Stop by and talk to Wayne today. You'll be glad you did. CDS Auto and Truck Repair is your 5-star one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs from A to Z, offering full vehicle diagnostics. Towing is available, and they now offer fleet service. CDS Auto and Truck Repair. Call 845-563-9987. That's 845-563-9987. CDS Auto and Truck Repair, 2917 Route 9W, New Windsor.
You've long known that Newburgh Auto Spa on Route 17K utilizes top caliber products and the latest technology to give your vehicle the proper maintenance it needs. Whether it be a computerized soft cloth car wash, detailing consisting of a comprehensive bumper-to-bumper cleaning of your entire interior and exterior, or a fuel-efficient oil change from a trained technician, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Now, Newburgh Auto Spa is a full-service automotive center. That's right, Newburgh Auto Spa now offers tires, brakes, rotors, tune-ups, alternators, and more, all with the same professionalism and quality you've become accustomed to. For a full list of automotive services offered in specials, go to NewburghAutoSpa.com. Whether you need a basic car wash, a quick oil change, or now more extensive automotive service, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean, located at 86 Route 17K and online at NewburghAutoSpa.com. Now offering a full range of automotive services. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean.
The Roma Deli, 237 Myers Corners Road, Wappingers Falls, is your neighborhood family-owned and operated deli, offering breakfast, lunch, and catering options. The Roma Deli has brought a little piece of the Bronx to Wappingers, including fresh-made sandwiches, Italian specialties, and desserts, all prepared and cooked in-house with authentic Italian ingredients. Their large menu provides lots of options to personalize your order to your taste. Vegan and vegetarian options available. The Roma Deli, offering catering that is perfect for any party or business function. Go to romadeli1.com or call 845-297-1200.
Michael's Appliances presents Ask Andy, the appliance expert. Andy, what makes my oven smell so bad when I self-clean?
Self-clean, my favorite weapon in the world. Self-cleaning is a brutal environment. Most people don't think about it. They hear self-clean. I'm not really sure if they're picturing scrubbing bubbles inside there, but what's really happening is we're heating the oven up hot enough to carbonize protein. We're going to take the food stuff that's left in your stove, and we're actually going to carbonize it. We're going to turn it to dust. So we're at 700 degrees. So why does it smell bad? You're setting fire to a chicken. Today, a lot of the new stoves, because of the energy guidelines, there is no real self-clean anymore. They don't want those high temperatures. It's a huge waste of energy. It's very easy. You don't have to get on your hands and knees and your back doesn't hurt. You're not scrubbing the stove, but we use a ton of energy to clean the inside of that stove by heating it up.
Shop with the experts. Nobody knows appliances like Michael's Appliance Center, 585 East Main Street, Middletown. Online at michaelsappliance.com.
Welcome back, NFL free agency fans. We're going to be talking some more NFL free agency. It's going to be a good time. We just talked about him going to Chicago. I want to pivot real quick and just talk about the impact that losing Joe Thuney is about to have on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
In the Kansas City fan base, we have a saying, and that saying is, in Veach we trust.
Yeah.
And that means no matter what moves our general manager Brett Veach makes, you just assume that it's going to be the right move.
Okay.
I am devastated by what we got for Joe Thuney.
Yeah.
That being said, I am devastated by what we got for Joe Thuney.
I just don't think it's enough. And I find it very hard to believe that no other team that's desperate for line help or interior help wouldn't have traded more.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have been upset if the Dolphins traded like a fourth in this year's draft.
Yeah.
Or a third in this year's draft for Joe Thuney. I would have loved that. I don't understand. I feel like there just could have been so much more done. And I don't understand it just from the fact that I don't think getting a fourth-round rookie in next year's draft is worth being without your best lineman for a year.
Yeah.
Especially after even if you're going to pay him, even if you're going to let him walk, even if you're not going to pay him, even if you're going to let him walk, especially after what happened in the Super Bowl, I just don't understand the move.
I don't understand the move either. Especially, I understand getting rid of Joe Thuney. Let me start off by saying that. I understand getting rid of Joe Thuney because he is getting to the end of his career. He's an offensive lineman. Usually the fall off is very steep with offensive linemen. He's been in the league almost a decade now. So I understand wanting to move off Joe Thuney and revamp the line with Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, who we are expected to sign to like a big 5-year deal. With what cap space, I have no idea, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm just worried that they're wrong about their analysis because a lot of Kansas City media is saying that Joe Thuney is going to be replaced by a younger lineman that we have on the team named Kingsley Sumataiia. I'm not very good on the names, but I saw him play. I wasn't all that impressed, but I guess if the Chiefs are confident that he's going to take a step forward, then I am too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm worried. I'm holding my breath. I'm hoping that we could maybe pick up an offensive lineman in free agency, maybe go trade for someone here or there. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's been talk of Ronnie Stanley from Baltimore getting Chiefs going after him, so we'll just have to see what happens, I guess.
I just don't understand the move, but maybe in 8 months' time we'll understand the move. We'll see.
And speaking of blocking, DK Metcalf does not really do that.
He wants out of Seattle. I really think that the Seahawks should trade DK because I really think that the Seahawks should trade DK. Because if he wants out, let him go.
Yeah.
And you can probably get some good return for him, like a second-round pick. Or something.
No, DK's not worth a second-round pick. When's the last time that guy's had 1,000 yards?
So. I mean, he was taken in the third round, and he's played better than the average third-round pick. So I think you can get a second for him.
I don't know. I'm gonna check real quick. I'm looking this up real quick. I'm gonna see the last time DK had over 1,000 yards. Oh, okay. Never mind. Hold on. He did it in 2023 and 2022. I thought that he hadn't done it since 2020.
I mean, he's got all the tools, and I think a trade makes sense. As for locations, I think either the Raiders or the Patriots makes the most sense.
I think the Chargers make a lot of sense. They
Chargers
got
does make
nobody,
sense.
and they just let go of a really big cap hit who likes to whine and cry a lot.
But the Raiders, they have Pete Carroll, who drafted, and they're going to try to develop a quarterback this year, most likely. The Patriots, Mike Vrabel, who infamously lost A.J. Brown to a stupid trade to the Eagles. I think A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf have similar archetypes. I think in a Mike Vrabel offense, DK could play a similar role than A.J. Brown played in that Tennessee offense.
You mean underutilized?
He was actually pretty good in Tennessee.
A.J. Brown they did not know how to use A.J. Brown in Tennessee. He was good, but Philadelphia, man, that's a city that knows how to use a big body wide receiver.
I mean, he went for over 1,000 yards in his first 2 years.
Yeah, but look, what we're seeing out of A.J. Brown now, Tennessee just did not unlock him the way that Philadelphia unlocked him.
Well, yeah, that's without a doubt. But Tennessee is more dysfunctional than the Eagles are.
Yeah, very true.
I think that the Patriots could get a lot, getting another target for Drake May, and I think Mike Vrabel would like to have someone like DK on his team.
Yeah, I'm sure he would. I think in the way of L.A., I think that Quentin Johnson is terrible. And I think that Ladd McConkey is really good, but I think that Ladd would also benefit greatly out of being the 2 receiver.
I think so, too.
So I think, they have a lot of cap space right now. The Chargers are probably going to be in the market for a wide receiver, so don't be surprised if you see old DK putting on the blue and white and heading down south to SoFi.
Also, released, we got Mr. Glass himself.
Yeah.
Joey Bosa.
The crybaby.
The crybaby.
Noah Gray lookalike. Look it up. They look really similar, Noah Gray and Joey Bosa.
Now, Joey Bosa is not that great anymore.
No.
But I do think a team will sign him. He's on a bit of a fringe. Like he's still a defensive starter.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be any star for a team.
Right.
Honestly, I think it makes the most sense for him to go play in San Francisco with his brother.
You really think so?
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense.
Oh, man. I think that would be an awful move on San Fran's part. San Fran has so many high-caliber guys that they're going to need to pay or that they are currently paying. And they don't need help on the defensive line. They got Nick Bosa. They got, name. I forget who else is on that San Fran front four, but between guys like Fred Warner and George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey and Trent Williams, there's just too many mouths to feed. Joey Bosa needs to go to a team that really just doesn't have anything right now, and that team is the New England Patriots. I think don't be surprised if you see Joey Bosa popping up out in Foxborough. Because
totally see that.
I mean, who's the best defensive player on the Patriots right now?
Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah, Christian Gonzalez. Definitely not on the line. So New England can definitely benefit from having Joey Bosa playing up there.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they're okay with a lot of whining and crying.
I mean, Joey Bosa will get signed. I could see him signed to a decent amount of money. I mean, he made a Pro Bowl this year. He is a Hall of Famer, so we'll see him go somewhere.
Whoa. No.
He's a Hall of Famer.
What, a Hall of Famer?
He's a Hall of Famer.
A Hall of Famer?
He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, my God.
I really think he's going to. I really think he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
No.
Yes,
we are not having this conversation.
Oh,
my God.
I think he's a Hall of Famer in the making.
In the making.
Yeah.
In the making. He can't even make 17 games in a season.
Yeah.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Definitely not first ballot, but I think he will get in there eventually. I mean, he's 5-time Pro Bowl, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
You're going to be the death of me one day, Matt.
Yeah.
All right, let's pivot real quick.
Well, we're going to do a podcast when Joey Bosa makes the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Tell you what, if Joey Bosa makes the Hall of Fame, we will do a live stream where I'll eat one marshmallow for every career tackle Joey Bosa has when it's all said and done.
Yeah, that's good.
Lock that in. And speaking of edge rushers, Max Crosby of the Vegas Raiders now becomes the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. Do you think that was the move?
Yeah. I mean, the Raiders have nothing. Their defense is their front four on the defense is the only thing they have going for them right now. They signed Christian Wilkins to a $200 million deal. Now Max Crosby, this deal, half of their cap space is going to Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Realistically. And they can't let Max Crosby go.
Yeah, he's
just too good.
He's Vegas. He embodies the Raiders mentality so well. Coming from a guy who hates the Raiders, Max Crosby embodies the Raiders.
Yeah, and Crosby has expressed that he is frustrated with the team's lack of success. So I think it's a good move to just keep the Raiders on the right path.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's just a stability move at that point. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you all for listening. Next episode is going to be coming on Thursday at noon, same time, same place. So make sure you are here for it. My name has been Jake McVey, joined by Matthew Galgano, and this has been Jake's Hot Takes on WGNY 1220 94.5 News Talk Sports. Emphasis on the sports. And last thing, make sure you follow the Instagram, Jake's Hot Takes WGNY on Instagram. So thank you for listening. Remember, Thursday at noon, next episode. Goodbye.